What's up, everybody? I'm going to tell you today how I became a millionaire in 2 years. 2 years ago, a little over 2 years, I started a business. And from starting that business, I've grown my net worth to over $1 million, which once I've made it to this point, I realized $1 million is not what it used to be. You used to be able to be a millionaire, and you could say, I have made it. I need no more. I'm set. And that's really not the case anymore. $1 million does not go as far as it used to. So this video today is for you guys out there who want to build wealth, who want to get rich, and don't feel bad about having that want for money, because having a want for money means that you want a life of something more. You want the good life. You want the life in which you can go on vacations that you want to go to. I've been to Paris, London, Ireland, California, New York. I've been to so many places in the past year I can't remember, and I'm going to Dubai and Egypt here soon. I'm able to do that because I make really good money. I'm able to do that because I started a business. Okay, so, but what I wanted to do today is try to bring my story back to how I can help somebody who's at step one. How can I help the person who's wanting to build that wealth, but they don't know where to go, right? So many people, they're like, hey, I want to get rich, I want to have a business, but I don't know where to go. And that's the purpose of my channel. The purpose of my channel is to help out the young, the beginning, the entry stage of the entrepreneur, help them get to that next level, okay? So if you like that type of content, you get value out of today, hit like and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So I'm going to talk through from when I went to college, because that's really when my life turned around. My life really turned around in college when I really started thinking in my head of what is actually possible. I always, so many people tear up my videos. I make a lot of YouTube shorts on here. So many people comment like, oh, that's only like making excuses of why they're at where they're at. And the biggest thing that started this whole wealth building process for me was changing my mindset of what is possible. You only achieve as high as you dream. I know that sounds so just pie in the sky, so big, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. It sounds like somebody, like what a teacher would write on a wall, right? But it's so true, right? If you only dream of, hey, I want a job that pays me $50,000 a year, well, if you get that dream, if you get that, then that's all you're gonna have, right? But if you dream of, hey, I want a job that pays me $250,000 a year, you're going to work towards the $250,000. So basically, I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and it's by Napoleon Hill. Great book. It essentially changes the way you think about what you can achieve and gives you kind of a blueprint of how to get to what you want out of life. So I changed my mindset. I said, okay, well, took second grade twice in elementary school, got decent grades in high school. I wasn't given a ton of scholarships. I think I was given the laptop scholarship. We got a laptop. So I got a free laptop, which was cool, but I was on my own. My dad only gave me X amount of money towards my college, which only covered, I think, 1/4 of the actual cost. So I ended up getting a loan that first year when I was going to college. And I remember reading books, and I'm like, man, there's got to be something more. I feel like I'm just going to get through college, have an amount of loan, and then take 20 years to pay it off and barely have money, and maybe someday I'll be a millionaire. But it's like, my mindset shifted. It's like, I want something more than that. So how can I start working towards that? So I started reading books like crazy, and I looked out the first, and the second thing I did is I looked for opportunity. So I was on my own. I had to pay my own way, a portion of my own way. So I said, man, I don't know how I'm going to afford this because I can only work so many hours, and I'm taking classes. And my brother, who was a senior, said, hey, man, you're majoring in business sales, but did you know that if you majored in insurance, you can get a ton of scholarships? And I was like, I don't know if I want to major in insurance, dude. I don't want to be Jake from State Farm slinging insurance. And he's like, nah, dude, it's not all like that. Go talk to him. Just promise me you'll go talk to him. And I said, okay, I'll go talk to him. And talked to a guidance counselor. She explained everything to me. And I said, well, dang, if I can get that many scholarships, which I was an RA, so an RA is basically a police officer of the floor, so I got free room and board, so I was paying tuition, right? She said you could probably get enough scholarships to pay your tuition and maybe even more to where you're making money in college. I said, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. I need to get out of here with my little piece of paper and get to that next level. So once I dove into it and I started thinking, I'm like, man, I don't want to be in college for 4 years. I don't want to waste my time. So I created this plan to graduate in 3 years. And I went to 3 guidance counselors. The first one said, Nate, don't do it. You're going to fail. If you fail, you're going to drop out. You're going to lose all this. Like, don't do it. The second one said, just enjoy yourself, right? It was the enjoyment. The first person said, no, danger. The second person said, no, enjoy yourself. Life's short. Why do you want to work so hard on finishing when you should just have a good time? Join a fraternity. Nah, I didn't want to listen to that. The third person, I sat down with the guy, I explained everything. He said, yeah, if that's what you want to do, you have it all planned out, I think you can do it. Cool. Sounds good. And I went, put my head down. I graduated a year early, and I ended up with more scholarship money when I graduated than tuition. I think I graduated with $15,000 to $20,000 in the bank. And the only reason I did that, so many people are going to say, well, not everybody has the same opportunity. You're right. Not everybody does. You know why? Because they don't look for opportunities. They say, I want to major in this, and they're tunnel vision towards that thing. What I'm telling you today is the reason that I got in this journey is because I was open to opportunity. I didn't stick my nose up on things. So many times opportunity knocks at your door, and you're like, I ain't letting that in. That's not what I want. That's not what I visualize. You don't know what you want. What you need in life is to navigate through life, building wealth and having money, because if you have money, you have freedom. If you have money, you have control. If you have money, you have power. So you need money in our world, okay? So once I graduated, I also networked with a guy, went to a networking event on a Friday afternoon that nobody else wanted to go to. I signed up for it because it was a requirement of our class. I even got an email saying, hey, a lot of students have dropped off wanting to go to this event. We really need you to be there because we have professionals coming in. I didn't want to go. I went. I met a guy. He ended up hiring me while I was in college, which gave me a good money source while I was in college, and he ended up opening up the door to my first job. First job out of college, I think I made $50,000. I think I had a $5,000 sign-on bonus, and that first job opened my eyes to what corporate America is. Hey, you got to be here at 8 a.m. You can't leave till 5. Doesn't matter that you work 10 times as fast as everybody else because you're young and you understand how to use a computer, or you are motivated, you're inspired. Like, doesn't matter. You're going to work the same 8 hours. You have twice the output of other people, but you're still going to get paid the same amount. When it comes to raises, you're going to ask for more and you're going to get less. When it comes for potential, like I sat down with the CEO of the company and I said, look, I want to have my income tied to my production, because the role I was in, I was kind of in a production role, sales type role. And he said, we don't do that here. And I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay here, because I had that mindset in my head. I said, hey, I understand that building wealth, I cannot trade my time for money. I can't trade my hours, which I was salaried, but still the expectation was 40 hours. I was giving them 40 hours for an X of money. Well, I can't give them more than 40. There was no overtime. I was salaried. So I needed something that I could give more to earn more. And that's what the nice thing about sales is commission. That wasn't a possibility. So I knew I needed to leave that, right? Because the route, and this is super important for you to do, is look at your route of where you're at. 20 years down the road, I've always been really good about looking down the road. What's my life going to look like if I continue to play the cards that I'm dealt right now? And at that place, I was going to max out around $90,000, maybe $120,000 a year. Great living. Not for me, though. I wanted more money. I realized that there's people in this world that make over $20 million, $30 million a year. And I was like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the easy route of just sticking it in for 30 years and just seeing what happens. Like, no. So I left that, joined a professional sales type job where I was paid a salary. I ended up getting a $20,000 bonus or salary increase. I was making 70 at the time, 70,000. But I was ripping calls every day. And that place taught me how to do sales, right? And it's uncomfortable, the uncomfortable conversations, putting yourself out there, getting rejected. And I learned that. I learned the sales side. I learned how to be rejected. I learned how to show up and get punched in the face every single day and doing things that you don't want to do, because at the end of the day, if you do things that you don't want to do, you'll get better at them and you'll become more successful. Did really great in that. I think I ended up getting about $4,000 or $5,000 of bonuses and commissions that first year and a half, but I realized it was a little oversaturated saturated in that kind of area in that company where I was going to have to travel 4 to 5 hours just to make sales. And I didn't really see the long game. It was like 20 to 30 years down the road. I said, I don't really see myself here. Took an opportunity to work for kind of not necessarily a startup, but a really small company. And through the unique relationship I had with the owner, he allowed me to start a company that kind of complemented the company that he was working for. And it just didn't end up working out. And while we were there, I wanted equity. I wanted ownership in something that was mine, something that I was going to build and have complete control, complete ownership of. So me and my wife, we said, okay, let's save up as much money as we can and let's both quit our jobs. She was working at the same place. And we said, let's quit our jobs and let's start from scratch and let's do this thing the right way. And we went from, I ended up getting another $20,000 raise. So I was making $90,000 there. She was making $40,000 to $50,000. So we ended up taking away $130,000, $135,000 to go to zero to start our job. And so many people, they tell me, they're like, oh, you're so lucky of what you've done. Oh, really? I went from 135, all stability, a very easy job to zero, to getting my face punched in every single day and building a business. So our business, we work with over thousands of clients. We have an insurance agency. So we started an insurance agency. And that insurance agency is with clients in, I think, 7 to 8 different states. And we have expanded so much. We have 2 people on our staff and just been really growing. So, the title of this video was How I Became a Millionaire, right? And I became a millionaire by being a business owner. I became a millionaire because what a lot of people don't understand is if they build the right business, what I've mentioned in my videos previously, if you build the right business, you get equity along with building your business. What equity is value in a company in which you can sell, right? So I can sell my business for 5 to 7, probably around 7 times the EBITDA. The EBITDA is a fancy word of accountants saying profit, right? Depending on your business, EBITDA could be different, but essentially your net income, your profit. So if my profit's X, I can sell it for 5 times X. So right now on value, on net worth, I'm worth over $1 million. Why is that? Because I have a business that's valuable, right? So many people, they're like, well, you earn less as a business owner. Well, I don't, but I earn like 3 or 4 times what I was making before. But what I'm trying to say is my business is getting more and more valuable every year. We have more profit. We had a private equity company reach out to us and wanted to buy us out. And I was curious, got an offer from them. And I was shocked on how much my company is actually worth. Because a lot of times people don't talk about that. They don't talk about how you can build a business that is also a retirement plan when you want to sell it. So building a business in which has equity and value in it is what allowed me to swell. I mean, I save money, I invest money, all that, but that never increased my wealth as much as starting and growing a business. You will never be able to increase your wealth drastically, multiplying your wealth, right? Because if you have a job that makes $100,000 a year and you end up saving 20 grand, right? That 20 grand is going to be 20 grand. You're not multiplying that 20 grand. Why business owners become the richest people in the world is because of multipliers, right? So when somebody has a big enough business, it can be worth 10, 15, 20 times EBITDA. So you're multiplying your profit, which is essentially going to you as the owner. So you're multiplying your profit. And that's what allowed me to grow my net worth. And there is nothing in this world that will make your net worth jump and multiply faster than if you own a business. You can own real estate. Real estate's going to go up a percentage. It's going to go up 15, 20% some years at the highest, right? And you're going to get the percentage increase. So yeah, but you're not going to get a multiplication. A multiplication is not 20%. It's 400%. It's 600%. Okay, you're not going to get that anywhere else except for a business. Yeah, you can invest in Bitcoin, you can do all that, and it can go flying to the moon, but it could also go flying down. But with a business, the nice thing is if you're starting a business with a low startup cost, so you're not putting a ton of capital risk at the beginning, and you're able to build that business, and I've made videos on my page about different businesses you can start, you can build that equity, build that value in your net income and wealth. So this is the nice thing about being a business owner and why it's increased my net worth is, one, I'm earning way more than if I was an employee. I'm earning probably what Fortune 500 CEOs make, right? But I'm a little tiny business owner, and people are like, oh, well, you don't have a corporate job, you're just a business owner. And I run my business out of my house, right? I'm getting an office in about a month. We're going to formalize it and actually get a physical office, but I've been running my business out of my house. And mainly virtually, and running an insurance agency and building this amount of wealth. And people don't assume that because they don't know that most small business owners, people look down upon these boring businesses, right? The guy who owns the food truck down the corner, you guy's crushing it. You don't even know it. There's so many small business owners that are absolutely crushing it, and you have no freaking clue because you think that the only way for somebody to make a lot of money is to sit in an office and sit in a corporation for 20 years and eat crap from their boss. Really, if you really wanted to build wealth, you would start a business. Even if the business doesn't even make $1 million a year, it's still valuable. You can still, if you have a business that makes $500,000 a year and you have a profit margin of 50%, you're making $250,000 a year. That's a C-suite management. And guess what? You own your own business. You have your own creativity control. You have your own freedom to take a time off if you want to take time off. You have your own freedom to grow the business that you want. So many people, they think that being a business owner is this whole thing of just pressure and risk. And yes, that comes with it, but there is so much more freedom financially when being a business owner. I would have not became a millionaire if it wasn't for me starting and growing a business. So my question for you today is, what business are you going to start? You've listened to this. If you made it this far in the video, that means I've kept you entertained for this long. But now is the call for action. The call for action is, hey, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? Are you going to stay where you're at? Or are you going to start building equity? Are you going to start building a business? Are you going to start caring about your life? Okay. The answer is not for you to sit inside of a company for 30 years if you want to do this. If you don't want to do this, yes, go sit there, right? But if you want to build an enormous amount of wealth, and with wealth comes freedom. Freedom to be able to help out your family member when they're sick. Freedom to be able to help out people in the community. Give back to charity. Find needs that fit. Go see the world. Go travel. Go do anything. The more money that I've made, the more that my enjoyment of life has gone up. Now, money won't make you happy, right? But it's a lot easier to be happy when you have things and you're not living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So don't accept where you're at. Commit to finding a solution, and the solution is becoming a business owner. And that's been the solution for me. So if you got value out of today's video, hit like and subscribe.